The next phase of my Vietnam experience revolves around living and working in Vietnam. So coming back from California with the intention of living, anyone that knows that there's a big difference between a holiday and living somewhere, which I found out when I tried to look at living in Thailand. It's a very different experience and I didn't enjoy it. So in Vietnam, I was looking for a work-life balance. So when I came back, I started working at the English Centre, actually living there in the beginning, which was a little bit of a concern because I didn't want it to encompass my whole life. So, but initially it was nice to be able to live and work there. It had me be kind of grounded in my work and also understand what is this about, this English learning, English teaching experience in Vietnam. So in the beginning of teaching, it felt like I was diving in the deep end. What I mean by that is wasn't given a lot of I would say tips and instruction on teaching the classes. It was definitely working it out as I went. So that's life. Sometimes that is the way to learn, definitely. It felt like, diving in the deep end at some point. It felt like kind of managing a group. But through that experience, I got to learn how to work with a group of children, understand what engages them, and to be honest, the expectations weren't very high in the beginning, which was kind of nice way to be able to ease into it. So that was that. Now, as far as work-life balance goes, for me, if you remember, kite surfing was a really big part of coming to Vietnam. It was my introduction. And Mui Ne, where I learned kite surfing, was only a 30-minute bike ride from Phan Thiet, where I was living at that point. So my work hours, like most English centres, were 4 afternoons a week from 5 till 8:30, and then all weekend. And when I say all weekend, I really mean all weekend, from 7 a.m. through till 8:30 at night with the lunch break. So seven classes, and those classes are generally an hour and a half. So so on your feet a lot over the weekend. It's a little bit of a sacrifice, but you kind of clock up most of your hours on the weekend. So I think all in all, I was working about 100 hours a month, and a lot of those were on the weekend. So what that allowed is a lot of time during the week. I would go kite surfing in the afternoons and then come back and then just focus on work over the whole weekend. The biggest challenge, I think, is just being on your feet physically and just staying mentally engaged with the kids and being involved in the classes. So that provided the work-life balance that I was looking for. A lot of my, I would say, foreign friends were living in Mui Ne when I was living in Phan Thiet. So, and my next step was to get my own place, which I ended up doing, which was still in Phan Thiet, a little bit outside of town, which was a nice, quiet area, which allowed me to get involved in my work and, like I said, still get involved in my kite surfing and start to immerse myself in the culture, right? So that was my introduction to living in Vietnam, moving from that initial period of coming to Vietnam, learning kite surfing, kind of feeling it out, I would say. And then in the end, once I decided to actually move back, I found work really quickly and found that balance of being involved in my hobbies and also getting involved in this new realm, which is English teaching children.